And welcome back. Well, today we are cooking up a fall dish that pasta lovers will appreciate, and they don't have to feel guilty because it's gluten-free, it's low carb, and it's sure to be a crowd favorite.
That's for sure. It smells wonderful too. Chef Kate Luloff is here from Jones Dairy Farm with a recipe that is made with spaghetti squash, which is in season right now, which is great. And she's going to serve it up with bacon to make it extra yummy. Great to see you.
Nice to see
this
you girls.
smells fantastic.
I've never had spaghetti squash, so I'm super excited to taste it.
Really? I'm excited for you to taste it then
Yes.
too. So there is obviously multiple kinds of squash, all different varieties.
Yeah, right over here. So you can use any. This is acorn squash?
This is acorn. So last year when I was here, we did the stuffed acorn squash with the sausage and yummy filling.
Yep.
That you would cut in half and you would stuff.
Okay.
That's a good squash for cutting, pureeing, cubing.
Okay.
The spaghetti squash that we're using today
is spaghetti squash?
Yes.
Okay.
That one's a spaghetti squash. The other one is a butternut, the one that looks like a bowling pin.
Yeah.
That's a butternut. That's the one you would cut in half, throw in the oven with some butter.
Spaghetti squash sort of naturally looks like pasta noodles.
It does.
It's stringy.
Yep.
It's like that, so you didn't actually do anything to that? It's like that inside?
Nope, exactly. So what we're gonna do, I just wanna make sure that this is gonna come out here. I'm cooking up some bacon on the stovetop.
Okay.
And just for sake of time, I have some onion and garlic in here on the side, but when you make it at home, you're gonna make it in the same pan.
Okay.
So you don't have to dirty two pans. So we'll take the bacon out. This is, of course, our Jones Dairy Farm. I use the cherry wood
My fave.
for this recipe.
It's delicious.
It's a little bit sweeter. The hickory also is wonderful in here. So we have both of them sitting there. They're both available at your retailer.
Right here. You can find this at the grocery store, and it's going to be in the refrigerated section.
In the refrigerated section,
Whereas some other Jones Dairy Farm products you're going to find in the freezer because they have so few ingredients and they're all natural that they have to be frozen so that they're fresh when they get to you.
Exactly. So the bacon you're going to find in the refrigerated section by the other deli meats. And like I said, we have the hickory and the cherry, both made with an over 100-year-old cure. Excuse me. The hickory smoked with hickory chips, natural hickory chips. The cherry wood is smoked with cherry wood chips from Door County. So both wonderful cures, smokes. And one thing that's unique about the Jones Dairy Farm bacon is that it's dry aged. So once it's cured and smoked, it's hung in that aging room for up to 3 weeks, and all that flavor soaks in. It intensifies, and it just makes this wonderful, more pure bacon flavor.
Love that.
So, wonderful, wonderful product. So what we are going to do is I have one of these spaghetti squash.
Is there a way to tell if they're ripe, or are they just like if they're in store, they're ripe?
You can use them pretty much any time. So there's not really any trick to picking one out. Just the size that you're looking for would be what you pick.
All right.
If it's a little tough to cut, again, just like the other ones we did last year, you can nuke them for like a minute, and it'll soften them up just enough.
Put the whole thing in the microwave for about a minute. Okay, then you can slice
wet it or do anything?
Nope, nothing with it. Just put it in, and it'll soften the rind just enough that you can slice through it. So you can do it either down the middle if you prefer. I actually did it, I like to do it in rings. I think it cooks a little more evenly. So I have two here that I have cut, and all you're gonna do is cut them into about 1-inch thick rings.
Okay.
And you're just gonna scrape the inside. You can use a knife.
So you get the seeds out, sort of like a pumpkin. You think of it that way. You get that inside part out.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a pumpkin, you're right.
Yep, and I actually, when I was making it last night, I cleaned the seeds off and took those out and roasted them, and they taste very, very similar to pumpkin seeds. So
oh,
you can
nice.
certainly use the seeds
They're healthy
if you want to. They are, yeah.
Okay, so you get that inside, the kind of get the guts out, right?
Get the guts out, so it's going to be pretty clean looking like that.
And that's before you cook it?
Before, when it's raw.
Okay.
So you're going to slice it, clean it, throw it in the oven for about an hour.
Do you put anything on it, oil or anything?
You can brush it with a little melted butter. You don't have to.
Okay.
It'll cook fine the way it is.
About an hour at what temp would you say?
375.
375, okay.
So 45 minutes to an hour, I would check it. You don't want to over bake it. You don't want it to get mushy, but if it doesn't pull apart like it's supposed to, that means it's not quite done.
Oh, okay.
So after we bake them, roast them.
This is how it looks, magic of TV.
They're going to come out looking beautifully roasted like this, and you get that nice brown color on the top.
Yeah.
And then I have some that I already have shredded, but all you're going to do with this is this outside peel is going to come off. You can cut it off with a knife.
Yeah, keep it there so we can keep the shot, because I'm interested in how you do this.
This is fascinating.
I've never seen this before.
So you just peel that off.
All right.
And then, I mean, you can see it's even doing it just
it's already kind of in like strings.
You really don't even need the forks if you don't want to, but I usually do it with a fork, just kind of pull it apart.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And once you
just so people can see it.
Yep, and once you pull, I mean, you can just see it just it's stringy, it's perfectly cooked, ready to go.
Look at that.
So, yeah, just pull it apart.
That's fun.
Completely, low carb option for pasta if you're looking for something different than pasta.
I like it.
So, once
now, how are you serving it up there?
I have, okay, so after we're done shredding it, I have the bacon that I cooked up on the side. We're gonna mix that in.
Okay.
And also for sake of time,
so good.
you're gonna add a little bit of either, if the squash is still hot, a little bit of butter, otherwise melted butter. For sake of time, I put a little extra butter in with the onions and garlic.
Oh, yum.
To
that
melt
looks
it.
good.
Yeah.
So that we can toss it.
Okay.
And then we've got some Parmesan cheese.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Gonna add that in.
I want that whole bowl.
Yeah.
I feel like you could eat that whole bowl and it's healthy.
It is, right.
Seriously,
I mean,
you
right,
know?
that's exactly it. You get the protein from the bacon, you're gonna get, you know, the lack of carbs from the whole
When you use a
from
pink
the whole
Himalayan
dish.
sea salt.
I just love the pink. You can use
Okay. I do
whatever you
too.
want.
I've heard it's better for you. I don't know if it is. Is
A little
it?
bit
Yeah.
healthier, yep.
Okay.
More natural.
Yep.
So we're gonna toss
Okay, we gotta
that.
go ahead and taste this because we're running
Yes,
out of
please.
time.
So good.
So that
Here
one
you
is
go.
ready to go.
Thank you.
And that's really all you do. The baking
Oh my
time
gosh.
is the main bulk of it, and then you.
I just said what my mom says. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And then you serve it with a little bit of it looks like green onions and bacon on
Yep,
top
I just
and a
put
little
some chives
shredded
on top.
parm.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you want to know where to find this, you go to jonesdairyfarm.com. There's a product
This
locator.
is so good.
You can put in your zip code. It'll tell you where to buy it.
Oh my
Or you
gosh.
can get it at the Jones Market, which is right in Fort Atkinson, up the street from the Fireside.
Love it.
So
Yeah, the
That's
store is
delicious.
fantastic. If you've never been to the Jones Dairy Farm store, you got to stop in. But here's where you can find more, jonesdairyfarm.com. This is the savory Parmesan spaghetti squash with bacon. This is delicious. I promise you, if you try this at home, the kids will even eat this.
I agree.
It is so
It's yummy.
good, Kate. Thank you
you.
so much. That crispy bacon, oh, it's
Good.
yum.